Bouken Shite mo 2 Koro is an adult-themed OVA but isn't your typical hentai VHS, it has actual plot and characters and such, so it has an interesting perspective, but let's be real. Alright, so this was a hard one to swallow, but I think it stands out a lot from the other titles I have watched and has an interesting take on hentai. Let me tell you, I was not expecting what I got when I watched this. Bouken Shite mo 2 Koro follows Junpei Kagane, a college dropout who looks to pursue a career in the adult film industry. He's an overly awkward guy, which adds to the comedic value. Before I go into the plot and characters, I'll run down the details I could collect about this. There wasn't much I could find about it. The OVA has 3 episodes, 45 minutes each. For the sake of this review, I only watched the first one. The series starts with a manga run from 1987 through 1989, that runs a whopping 11 volumes and 129 chapters in total. The OVA, on the other hand, aired from 1989 to 1990 and was produced by NAC Productions. NAC Productions was founded on September 25, 1967, by a group of former employees of Toei Animation and Osamu Tezuka's Mushi Production. Despite having alright animators on the team, they don't really have an impressive score, with no notable titles made, and a lot of adult films like today's on their latest. The company was known for its low-quality animation, but we'll get into that later. Other than the company background, I can't find anything else about the production of this film, so I'll move on to the review and plot synopsis. My thoughts were at first that it was your stereotypical perverted main protagonist like most anime has, except it was more heightened due to the film's nature. Junpei starts out strong with the dislike factors within the first few minutes of the film, in his job interview for the production team, by getting really friendly with the female interviewer. The twist was that his reaction to her advances was the true interview, and the rest of the crew come out of the walls to congrats him. Which kinda made me cringe. Junpei gets a little too cocky and the supervisor fires him on the spot after we find out the studio has some trouble with loan sharks. Don't worry, our protagonist isn't truly fired, that would be too easy, don't you think? He goes home, and the next day his love interest Wakaba Miwa comes to pay him a visit. She is the director of the film and wants him back, despite after she heard him yelling about how he wants to fuck her from outside his house. Despite that, she takes him, and you learn he's not working with her but another woman to do the actual porno with. The night comes and he chickens out because he can't lose his virginity while the woman he loves watches. He calls the studio from a telephone booth and confesses his love to Miwa from the phone, and she's taken aback and disappointed in his unwillingness to work. So Chisun, the other actor, goes and picks him up off the street, and they proceed to go back to her house and get it on, outside of work, so they can get comfortable off camera. Anyway, this approach works and they perform great the next day for the cameras. Now the problems start rolling downhill more. Miwa is slightly jealous, and it really shows at the premiere party. Everyone gets drunk, and on the way back home, they get stopped by cops but flee the group, leaving Junpei and Miwa separated from everyone and magically by Junpei's apartment, and Miwa is too drunk to walk and passes out on the sidewalk. Junpei takes her home and tucks her in and sleeps in the corner of his place under a blanket for the night. The next morning she thinks he took advantage of her, and they proceed to fight all the way to work. Junpei confides in his coworker that he did nothing and asks him to talk to Miwa for him. This is where shit hits the fan. His coworker goes to talk to her, but she asks him to tell Junpei she's sorry, but their coworker is jealous of Junpei and tells her that Junpei admitted to touching her, and it hinders their relationship to the point she resigns from the company. Distraught as she's leaving, Junpei corners her in the break room and proceeds to practically rape her before last minute stopping to prove he can't go through with it no matter what the circumstances are, so that he truly did not do anything to her that night. She takes her job back and they proceed to almost kiss before the others fall through the closed door, then the end credits roll in. So that was a lot to take in, and let me tell you, the number of titties and surprisingly really close dick resembling innuendo I seen watching this, a lot that I have to cut through. At first I didn't like it. I thought Junpei was thinking too much with his other head, but he grew on me, and he has the duality where he wants to be a domineering man but he falls very short, because when he snaps back from his very graphic fantasies he's a huge dork that's super shy, which without the context of this film I thought was relatable. Despite not caring for him, I really felt for him the second half of the film, where he and Miwa are having their differences, but the way they went about fixing the relationship was kinda too much. Either way, it wasn't too bad to watch, and I might watch the other episodes. I'm not sure for review though. Covering the points for my review, I'll be covering the animation quality, the story, the characters, the voice acting, and the watchability of the combined attributes. The first point, the animation. I said earlier I would talk about that. It wasn't great, it's not the worst I've seen, but the characters were drawn pretty bad for most of the shots, and they also mixed actual camera footage with the cells, which I haven't seen in an anime before this one, which was a pretty cheap move for this film. I think if done outside this film the mixed media could work, just not with this. I can tell that the animators did spend a little more time with X-rated scenes though. Overall I give this section a 2 out of 5. The next point is the story. It was predictable from the start, and I don't know what I was expecting when I watched this, but it was exactly that. Typical romance, a perverted main character and the jealous guy. I did like it though. The parts with the relationship drama felt sorta real and had me rooting for Junpei to an extent, because at the end of the day he's still a good guy. My rating here is a 3 out of 5. Moving on to the next point, the characters. Junpei, I said, fell into my expectations of him, but I think I should talk about Miwa for a moment. She is an interesting character. She is a female director for a porno company, and she has the respect from every guy on the team, as well as the skills to back her up, which was nice to see. I thought she would cave into Junpei's advances way easier, or I expected her not to get upset about the film, which added on to her character. Wrapping the characters up, I'd give them a 3 out of 5 as well. The voice acting I can't really rate. The VHS rip I found was very crappy and had this weird humming noise over it, but I would give it a 3 out of 5 as well. It wasn't dubbed, so I can't judge too much, and the editing wasn't bad from what I could make out. The total watchability adds up to an 11 out of 20. It's not unwatchable, and if you're up for some adult comedy, I would say give it a run. It's only 45 minutes, so it won't kill you. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video and can't wait to see you next time. End notes time. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe, leave a comment with what I should watch next or something you would like me to cover in another video. Or like it. I really want this channel to grow. I'm spending a lot of time making these videos high quality, and I don't want to be spending so much time on these just so 5 people can watch them. With that said, you can find my social media on the side, and I hope to see you again. Peace out from Pyco.